What up? This is the United Underground, and I'm here with Voorhees. What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what initially got you into making music.
I'm from, well, I was born in Southern Maryland. I spent most of my childhood in like the DMV metropolitan area, like in PG, Laurel, C Pleasant. Moved back to St. Mary's. When I got into music, I can't choose like a specific time. Like I started writing it like 11 just because like I always knew I wanted to make music, but I just wanted to see if like writing was my thing because I couldn't freestyle. But what got me into recording is a funny story because people knew I wrote raps, and this one kid dissed me for like no apparent reason, just because he was like another rapper in the school. And I made a diss track on him. It was ass, but like that's what got me into recording music, and I've been recording ever since.
Okay. Who would you say your top three influences be?
Top three, I would have to say number one is probably like Marilyn Manson, musical wise. Secondly, I'd say I'm gonna go with like Hobson. Hobson, that's like real old underground. And I would say Scarlord, either Scarlord or Zillakami in that stage.
And why would you say those three are your influences?
Well, with Marilyn Manson, it's like I liked how he can like turn any sound into his own type shit. Like he can make like a country song mixed with like industrial, and it would be like catchy as fuck. And like he would always do something. If it was wild, he was real okay with doing it, even like dressing wild. So like he's like more of like a musical influence than me. Like, I mean, than like a musical influence for me because like he just dressed like he didn't really like give a fuck. So that's why I say like that's my influence. I live like, like today's my last type shit. Hobson taught me to like if something like seems corny or like seems like it would be ass, just do it anyways. You know what I'm saying? It can come out cool as fuck. Like if I wanted to dress like fucking Reverse Flash, I can make it my own and it will be corny, but it will be cool as shit though. And with Scarlett and Zillakami, it's just because at the time when I was like making music at first, I was doing like horrorcore and like dark trap type shit. But I always liked metal music, obviously with like, like my other metal influences. I didn't really like take rap rock seriously, but when like trap metal came about, that's what really got me into that. Like they weren't coming off corny at all. It was like hard as shit. So yeah, that's why I say that.
Okay. And regarding to like your image, I looked at your catalog and I actually talked with some of my colleagues and they said you kind of give off a little bit of like a Mario Judah vibe. What would you say that you're trying to go for?
Um, what I try to go for is, forgive me on being like corny here. I try to give off like a horror villain. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause obviously I really like slashers and shit and like vampire movies, and I just dress basically like them. Cause I never really felt like any other human type shit. With slashers, they were like superhuman. Vampires were human, but just like now they're dead. It's just I want to dress like in that vibe of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So we heard what got you into making music. What pushes you to keep going?
What pushes me to keep going is like the thought in my head that it could possibly go somewhere. Like, well, there's like multiple reasons. One is to like help with like my mental health and shit. Like the recording of the music, because I didn't really take it seriously at first, but the doctors kind of like pushed me to do it when I got out after the first time I, had my shit going on. What pushes me through is like the fact that I know that like the stuff that I'm doing like now, like promoting it more, is like I'm actually trying. And if you're trying, it's enough. Like I don't want to like blow up or nothing like that. I'm not really looking to blow up. But like if I do, I mean, that's cool and everything, but just I will know that I like tried. That's what pushes me through a little bit.
Okay. What's some advice that you have for smaller artists, either just starting out or trying to find their sound?
I would say don't expect like some type of big realization. You're probably looking for another sound. With music, if you're doing it well and trying to diverse your sound, you're gonna constantly try new things, try to upgrade your sound. So just keep trying and you won't even notice the difference until you actually like, look at your older shit. So my advice is just keep going as you are. Don't let anything distract you. Promote yourself. Just be whoever the fuck you want to be at the end of the day.
How do you deal with the negative feedback or hate in the underground or well in your music?
That's the thing. I always kind of expect it for real, because I don't make anything like people. It's hard to put it. I make stuff that nobody really wants to listen to. You know what I'm saying? So I expect some negative feedback, but just like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what is it hurting me for? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'll like scroll past it like a normal comment. It'll just be like I'll be like, damn, isn't it cooking me? But at the end of the day, I don't really care.
Okay. What's some career goals that you have planned for like the end of the year to the next 5, you would say?
Well, for right now, trying to promote myself more, like social media wise, because that's what's hot nowadays, social media. Just trying to promote myself more throughout this year, throughout the end of this year. But like the start of next year, I actually want to, because I know how to edit videos and shit like that. So I actually want to buy some camera equipment and actually shoot my own videos, because I can shoot a video with someone professionally, but I know at the end of the day, I know what I want in a video. So for like the next couple years, I want to try with that. Maybe after making some videos and getting some more views, probably try to get into shows,
Okay.
like public shows and stuff like that.
Would you say that you do better online or in real life in terms of marketing, promoting, or displaying your music?
It's interesting because if I'm promoting myself on the internet, I find that the more rap style I have with my music, that's what I put on there and that's what gets the views. But in like word of mouth and like actually going to people and having people like listen, like give my music, they like the more like grungy rock sound that I give. So I'll say I could do well in both if I actually took promoting seriously, like I'm trying to do now. I feel like I could do well in both fields.
Okay, okay. In terms of just working with other people, how would you say you sit at with that?
Cool working with other people. It's just hard to find someone with like, I'm not going to say there's no interest in like sound and artists out there, but I feel like I don't want to like get on something with like a totally different vibe and fuck the song up for them. But I'm able to switch like my style and shit. It's just I much prefer like a more like aggressive sound. So I don't want to fuck up somebody's song, but I do find that I work well with people on like a business level, and even the people I promote with, we can get along on like a friendly level. Like I've collaborated with people from like 5 6 years ago, and we still talk to this day. So I do like collabing with people, and even if it's something that's not my style or not their style, I just find it interesting to see what we can come up with.
Okay. What message do you try to convey in your music?
I don't really have a direct message. It's more of a like a personal message to me. It's when I'm making something aggressive or dark, it's more than likely when I'm going through a bad time in life. Because that, like I said, that was the doctor's advice. When I'm making something sad, it's therapeutic for me because something must be going on in my life where I'm having like some like bad thoughts or something. And when I make upbeat music or like catchy music is when like I'm kind of like feeling myself like, like a ultra persona type thing. So it's more of it's like a personal message to like keep doing this and you'll like feel healthier type shit. If someone finds a message in my song and it's like a personal message for them, like that's cool too. But it's just like a personal message for me pretty much.
Okay. Any planned releases that you have coming soon or anything that you recently just dropped?
Well, this month, since I'm like a workaholic, I have like a little like mini project coming out about like 4 or 5 songs, like an EP. One of my favorite bands is Ice Nine Kills, and they have like a whole album that's like about horror movies. So, in turn, I kind of want to do something like that. I'm figuring out the movies as I go. I already got like 4 planned. I don't have a name for that. I'm stuck between a few names. It's like Halloween themed though. I have this one song that I'm planning on putting out, and it's very much my vibe. Like I found like the perfect sound for it. Like I said earlier, like the more you go on, the more you improve your sound. So like I was tweaking the song as I went. It's called Eternal Possession because it's like, you know, when you have mental health, you feel like you're like being taken over by something for like ever. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got out, what I'm planning on getting out so far, in this next month, and a lot more through the end of the year. Like I said, I'm trying to try more.
In regarding to mental health, what would you say to the people who are also artists who struggle with mental health but use their music as an outlet every day as well?
I would say if it's bringing you joy, keep doing that. But if you're putting your thoughts and your pain into music, don't just go along with the style you're used to. Just like try something different. That's where something beautiful could come out of the song, where everyone can actually see the vibe and actually understand what's going on, and they don't feel like it's like a turn up song type shit. Like, just be happy while you're making the song too. Just realize that your song is your therapy, and therapy can help out in a lot of ways. It very much music is a lot better than regular therapy. And it's because you're not talking to anyone when you're recording, you're talking to yourself. So realize that too. Like, nobody is actually listening. You don't even have to drop the song. Just put your pain in it as seriously as you can, and you'll feel better by the end of the song, by the end of the whole album, if you want to make it.
So, for the people that don't know you or don't understand you, how would you describe yourself?
Me and my homie was just talking about this. He's a real corny ass dude. He was talking about like how ironically his last name is Day. And so he was like, "Yeah, I represent the daytime and you represent like the fucking creatures of the night." And so that's the best way to describe me, is like a creature. Because, while we're talking about like mental health, like I have been through a lot, and I have like a lot of like pain and torture. Like, I have a mind like a like Spawn from like the Jamie Foxx movie, where he's constantly getting tortured by like old thoughts. That's what's in my head. Not so much recently. I've been doing a lot better about it, but for a while in my life, it was like that. And I was able to put on this persona, this like happy mask, like this disguise, like a shapeshifting disguise. Like, everything's fine, everything's cool. I'm able to lie. I was even able to lie to like doctors and shit. Like, I'm fine, I'm cool. But like I feel like my soul has been in like a hell that's like a Catholic hell, like how they believe in like fire and brimstone and shit. That's how I feel like I am. I'm like a creature. I'll be like probably the funniest person but like deep down, there's a lot more about me that's beyond like people's level. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. How do you divert your artist persona from you in real life?
That's the thing. It's like I try to base my life into my persona. It's like the typical, I don't want to say rock star life, but like the persona that I made up as like a kid, that's like my persona now. Like, I always pictured like, like bagging hoes, smoking, you know what I'm saying? Just making hardcore music, just basically being like a rock star. And I try to base it off like that. But I also try to base it off of like figures that I look up to, like fictional figures, like The Crow, you know, that deals with like a lot of pain, kind of helps with like mental health. Jason, as you can see, I really like Jason. Just how hardcore he is, you know, how he's like a hulking figure. Like I try to base off of like what I can create from fiction. So I don't think like there's a direct like difference between the two. I feel like I am part of the persona a little bit. So yeah, that's the easiest way I can explain it.
Okay. My last question for you is there anything you would like to say to anybody in general, fans, family, haters, people who don't know you?
My name is Voorhees, and I'm just cool as fuck. I'll see y'all in Disneyland.
Well, I appreciate you tapping in. This was the United Underground, and I was here with Voorhees. That's a wrap.